The universe speaks through patterns, and those born under the sign of Capricorn have always carried a distinctive cosmic signature. Imagine standing at the base of a mountain, looking up at its majestic peak disappearing into the clouds. That mountain represents the Capricorn journey, steadfast, enduring, and reaching ever upward toward greatness. Today on Secret of the Zodiac, we're unraveling the profound truths about these remarkable individuals and revealing the 12 reasons why Capricornians were truly born to shine. There's something almost mystical about the energy Capricorns bring into a room. They don't demand attention with loud voices or flamboyant gestures. Instead, they command it through their quiet confidence and unmistakable presence. It's that friend who speaks rarely in group settings, but when they do, everyone leans in to listen. It's that colleague whose opinion carries more weight simply because they've earned that respect through consistent excellence. The Capricorn journey begins during the darkest time of year, as the winter solstice arrives and the sun enters their territory. This is no cosmic accident. These souls emerge from darkness, learning from their first breath how to find light in shadow, how to persist when resources seem scarce, how to climb steadily upward when the path is steep and treacherous. This initiation shapes their entire existence, instilling qualities that distinguish them from every other sign in the zodiac. Have you ever noticed how some people seem built for the long game, while others chase quick wins and immediate gratification? There's a particular type of individual who understands that true achievement requires patience, strategy, and unwavering commitment. That's the Capricorn essence, the master builders of the zodiac who construct their lives brick by carefully placed brick. The symbol of the sea goat represents this dual nature perfectly. Part practical mountain climber, navigating the physical world with sure-footed precision, and part mysterious sea creature, connected to deep emotional currents that others rarely glimpse. This unique combination creates individuals who are simultaneously grounded and profound, practical and philosophical. Throughout history, some of humanity's most impactful figures have carried the Capricorn signature. Visionaries like Martin Luther King Jr., scientists like Stephen Hawking, artists like David Bowie, and leaders like Michelle Obama. What connects these seemingly different individuals? A remarkable ability to transform ambition into meaningful achievement, to shoulder responsibility with grace, and to improve whatever sphere they touch through disciplined dedication. If you're a Capricorn watching this right now, you likely feel a deep resonance with what I'm describing. Perhaps you've sometimes questioned why you approach life differently than those around you, why you prefer laying foundations while others are building sandcastles, why you value substance over flash, why you're willing to delay gratification when instant pleasure is available. This exploration is for you, a celebration of your inherent strengths and an affirmation that your natural tendencies aren't just valid but extraordinary. For those who love a Capricorn, this journey offers insight into what makes them tick, why they sometimes seem reserved when they're actually processing deeply, why they might appear strict when they're actually establishing necessary boundaries, why they occasionally seem pessimistic when they're actually being pragmatic realists, preparing for all contingencies. As we dive into the 12 specific reasons why Capricornians were born to shine, I invite you to join our cosmic community by subscribing to Secret of the Zodiac. Each like you gives supports our mission to illuminate the profound wisdom encoded in the stars. The Capricorn path isn't just about personal achievement, it's about creating lasting value that benefits everyone. And that's precisely what we're about to explore as we examine the first 3 remarkable qualities that make Capricornians such powerful forces in our world. These 3 foundations of Capricorn greatness reveal why these individuals aren't just successful, they're truly transformative presences wherever they go. Reason 1. Unwavering determination. The mountain goat doesn't fear the climb. Where others see insurmountable obstacles, Capricornians perceive challenges perfectly calibrated to their capabilities. This unwavering determination forms the bedrock of their shine, transforming what might crush other spirits into the very stepping stones that elevate them to extraordinary heights. It's not merely about persistence, though Capricorns have this in abundance. It's about a fundamental orientation toward achievement that exists at the cellular level of their being. Consider how a Capricorn approaches a seemingly impossible task. While others might immediately assess whether success is likely before committing their energy, the Capricorn mind automatically begins mapping the path forward, breaking down the overwhelming into manageable components. They instinctively understand that most barriers aren't walls, but rather tests of commitment. This quality manifests early in their lives, often making them appear unusually mature or serious as children, when in reality, they're simply focused on mastering whatever lies before them. This determination carries a distinctive Capricornian signature. Unlike the fiery, explosive ambition of Aries or the idealistic drive of Aquarius, Capricorn determination burns with a steady, unquenchable flame. It doesn't flare dramatically or seek validation through public recognition. Instead, it manifests as a quiet, relentless forward motion that continues regardless of external circumstances. When a Capricorn sets their mind to accomplishing something, they generate an almost gravitational force around their objective. Difficulties that would detour others simply become part of the terrain they must navigate. What makes this quality truly remarkable is how it strengthens rather than diminishes when confronted with setbacks. Each obstacle overcome becomes evidence of their capability, reinforcing their belief in their ability to conquer the next challenge. This creates a powerful upward spiral where determination breeds success, which in turn fuels greater determination. By the time a Capricorn reaches maturity, they've typically developed an almost supernatural ability to endure and overcome, making them not just survivors, but conquerors in life's most demanding circumstances. Reason 2, masterful patience. In our age of instant gratification, Capricornians stand as living embodiments of a profound countercultural truth. Anything of lasting value requires time. Their masterful patience allows them to build empires while others chase shortcuts, understanding intuitively that meaningful achievements cannot be rushed. This quality manifests not as passive waiting, but as active, strategic investment in long-term outcomes. A Capricorn's relationship with time differs fundamentally from that of other signs. Where others might experience time as a source of anxiety, something constantly running out, Capricorns view it as an ally in their quest for excellence. They recognize that certain processes simply cannot be accelerated without compromising quality. The oak cannot be hurried to maturity, neither can true mastery, authentic relationship, or substantive achievement. This perspective liberates them from the tyranny of immediate results and allows them to operate on timescales that produce extraordinary outcomes. This patience extends beyond professional pursuits into every domain of life. In relationships, Capricorns aren't looking for instant chemistry, but for connections that can weather decades of shared experience. In learning, they don't expect overnight expertise, but commit to the gradual accumulation of knowledge and skill. Even in health and personal development, they understand that sustainable transformation happens through consistent small actions rather than dramatic short-term interventions. What makes Capricornian patience so powerful is that it's coupled with strategic vision. They aren't merely waiting passively, they're orchestrating complex sequences of events that unfold according to natural timing. Like master chess players thinking several moves ahead, they perceive how present actions create future possibilities. This capacity to delay gratification without losing sight of the ultimate goal allows them to make sacrifices that others find incomprehensible, secure in the knowledge that these temporary limitations are investments in greater future freedom. Reason 3, natural leadership. The third fundamental quality that enables Capricornians to shine is their natural leadership ability that commands respect without demanding it. Unlike leadership styles that rely on dominance, charisma, or positional authority, Capricorn leadership emerges organically from demonstrated competence and integrity. They lead not because they crave power, but because their capabilities naturally position them at the helm. What distinguishes Capricorn leadership is its foundation in personal responsibility. Before directing others, they master self-governance. This creates an authenticity that others instinctively trust. People follow Capricorns not because they're coerced, but because they recognize the wisdom in their guidance. There's something profoundly compelling about someone who holds themselves to higher standards than they expect from others, who takes ownership of outcomes rather than deflecting blame, who leads through example rather than empty rhetoric. Capricorn leaders excel particularly in challenging circumstances that require steady nerves and clear thinking. When chaos erupts and emotions run high, their unflappable composure creates a center of gravity that stabilizes those around them. They possess a remarkable ability to remain objective when others become reactive, to maintain perspective when details threaten to overwhelm, to stay focused on core priorities when distractions multiply. This capacity makes them invaluable during crises, transitions, and turnarounds, situations that reveal the true measure of leadership. What makes their leadership truly exceptional is how it empowers rather than diminishes others. Capricorns understand intuitively that sustainable success requires strong systems and capable people, not just a singular heroic leader. They invest in developing those around them, delegating meaningful responsibility rather than micromanaging, and creating structures that can operate effectively with or without their presence. This approach cultivates loyalty not through personal charisma, but through genuine respect for their judgment and appreciation for how they elevate others. The Capricornian leadership philosophy centers on substance over spectacle. They're not interested in being the loudest voice in the room or claiming credit for every success. Their focus remains steadfastly on results, on building something that serves its purpose excellently and endures beyond any individual contribution. This orientation toward legacy rather than ego allows them to make decisions others find difficult, prioritizing long-term sustainability over short-term popularity. Together, these three qualities, unwavering determination, masterful patience, and natural leadership, create a foundation that enables Capricornians to shine in ways that transform not just their own lives, but the lives of everyone in their sphere of influence. They don't merely achieve personal success. They establish environments where excellence becomes possible for others. They don't simply adapt to circumstances. They reshape reality according to their vision. They don't just participate in existing systems, they build better alternatives that stand the test of time. As we transition to exploring the inner strength that further distinguishes Capricornians, we begin to see how these fundamental qualities combine with deeper personal resources to create individuals who don't merely succeed by conventional standards, but who define success on their own terms. The Capricorn journey isn't about conforming to external expectations, but about manifesting their unique vision with integrity and purpose. Reason 4, practical wisdom. Beyond the visible achievements that often mark a Capricorn's journey lies something more profound, an innate practical wisdom that cuts through chaos like a lighthouse beam piercing fog. This isn't knowledge accumulated from books, though Capricornians often possess this too. Rather, it's a fundamental orientation toward reality that allows them to perceive what truly matters while others become entangled in complications and distractions. At its core, Capricornian practical wisdom manifests as an extraordinary ability to distill complexity into clarity. When confronted with overwhelming situations, whether personal dilemmas, professional challenges, or interpersonal conflicts, they instinctively identify the essential elements that require attention. This capacity to separate signal from noise, to distinguish between symptoms and root causes, to identify leverage points where minimal effort produces maximum impact, this constitutes a kind of genius that's easily overlooked precisely because it appears so straightforward once expressed. What makes this quality particularly valuable in today's world is how it counteracts our collective tendency toward overthinking. In an age of information overload, where analysis paralysis and decision fatigue have become common afflictions, Capricorn's practical wisdom offers a refreshing antidote. They ask the questions that cut to the heart of matters. What problem are we actually trying to solve? What outcome would represent genuine success? What approach balances effectiveness with efficiency? Their minds naturally organize chaos into coherent patterns, creating order not through rigid control, but through discernment. This practical wisdom extends beyond problem solving into Capricorn's approach to resources, time, energy, money, attention. They possess an almost intuitive understanding of value, investing where returns will be greatest and conserving where expenditure would be wasteful. This isn't miserliness, but stewardship, a profound recognition that resources are finite and should be directed toward what truly matters. In a culture that often encourages mindless consumption and activity for its own sake, this discernment represents a quiet revolution, a reclaiming of intentionality in how we live. Perhaps most remarkably, Capricorn's practical wisdom encompasses both immediate concerns and long-range consequences. They naturally think in terms of systems and interconnections, anticipating how today's decisions will create tomorrow's conditions. This temporal expansiveness allows them to make choices that might appear unnecessarily cautious or conservative to others, but prove prescient as situations unfold. They're playing chess while others play checkers, considering multiple moves ahead rather than just immediate advantages. Reason 5. Remarkable resilience. The fifth quality that enables Capricornians to shine is their remarkable resilience, an inner fortitude that strengthens them through life's harshest winters. This isn't mere endurance or the ability to withstand difficulty, though these are certainly components. Capricorn resilience is something more alchemical, a capacity to be transformed rather than diminished by adversity, to extract wisdom from suffering, to convert obstacles into opportunities for growth. Capricorns enter life during winter's deepest hold, when darkness reigns and resources seem most scarce. This birth timing isn't coincidental, but deeply significant. It endows them with an innate understanding that challenging conditions aren't exceptions to be avoided, but integral aspects of any meaningful journey. They develop early what others might spend lifetimes learning. Hardship doesn't signify failure or abandonment, but constitutes the very terrain through which strength is forged. What distinguishes Capricornian resilience is its quiet, unassuming nature. Unlike the dramatic rebounds that characterize some responses to adversity, Capricorns typically demonstrate resilience through steady continuation rather than spectacular comebacks. They don't require external validation of their struggles or public acknowledgement of their perseverance. There's something almost matter-of-fact about how they process difficulties, not denying the pain or challenge, but refusing to be defined or limited by it. This resilience manifests physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Physically, Capricorns often possess surprising stamina and recuperative powers, bouncing back from illness or injury with determination rather than despair. Emotionally, they demonstrate remarkable stability amidst upheaval, processing feelings privately and emerging with greater self-knowledge rather than becoming permanently scarred. Spiritually, they extract meaning from experiences that might crush others' faith or optimism, developing deeper philosophical perspectives that encompass both life's beauty and its brutality. Perhaps most inspiring about Capricorn resilience is how it becomes a resource not just for themselves, but for others. Having traversed difficult terrain, they serve as guides who can accompany others through similar passages. They offer not empty platitudes or toxic positivity, but authentic understanding coupled with practical support. Their presence communicates a powerful truth. This path is walkable. I've been where you are. Keep moving forward. Reason 6. Disciplined self-improvement. The sixth reason Capricornians shine so brilliantly lies in their disciplined approach to self-improvement, a commitment to continuous growth that transforms potential into extraordinary achievement over time. Unlike sporadic self-help enthusiasts who chase the latest trends, Capricorns embody improvement as a lifestyle, consistently refining themselves through intentional practice and reflection. This Capricornian discipline operates at multiple levels simultaneously. At the most visible level, it manifests as structured habits and routines, regular practices that gradually accumulate into significant transformation. They understand intuitively what science has confirmed. Meaningful change occurs not through occasional heroic efforts, but through consistent small actions aligned with clear intentions. Whether developing professional skills, cultivating physical health, deepening relationships, or expanding intellectual horizons, Capricorns approach growth methodically rather than haphazardly. Beneath these external practices lies something more fundamental, an internal discipline of mind that enables everything else. Capricorns possess remarkable control over their attention, directing it deliberately toward what matters rather than allowing it to scatter across distractions. They maintain perspective during emotional turbulence, neither suppressing feelings nor being hijacked by them. They resist the tyranny of impulse and instant gratification, making choices aligned with values rather than momentary desires. This inner governance creates a foundation from which sustained growth becomes possible. What makes Capricornian self-improvement particularly effective is its integration with practical reality. Unlike purely theoretical approaches to personal development, Capricorns ground their growth in tangible contexts that provide immediate feedback. They understand that skills develop through application, that character forms through choices made under pressure, that wisdom emerges from reflection on lived experience. This pragmatic orientation ensures that their self-improvement produces functional capabilities rather than merely abstract knowledge. Perhaps most distinctive about the Capricorn approach to growth is its patient, long-term perspective. They don't expect overnight transformation or dramatic breakthroughs, but understand that meaningful development unfolds gradually through consistent effort. This temporal expansiveness liberates them from the discouragement that often derails others' improvement efforts. When progress seems slow or setbacks occur, Capricorns simply adjust their approach and continue forward, recognizing these as normal aspects of any significant developmental journey rather than reasons to abandon the path. The cumulative effect of this disciplined self-improvement becomes increasingly apparent as Capricorns age. While many people plateau in their development, settling into comfortable patterns and fixed perspectives, Capricorns continue evolving decade after decade. This creates a fascinating trajectory where they often achieve their greatest impact in maturity or even late life, having accumulated not just skills and knowledge, but also wisdom and perspective that younger individuals simply cannot possess. Their patience with their own development process ultimately yields extraordinary dividends. Together, these three inner strengths, practical wisdom, remarkable resilience, and disciplined self-improvement, create individuals who don't merely succeed externally, but thrive internally, navigating life's complexities with steadiness and clarity. These qualities explain why Capricorns often demonstrate such extraordinary staying power, continuing to contribute and achieve long after others have burned out or lost direction. Their strength isn't a temporary resource that depletes with use, but a renewable wellspring that deepens through engagement with life's challenges. As we've now explored 6 powerful reasons why Capricornians were born to shine, we begin to perceive the multi-dimensional nature of their capabilities. From their foundational determination, patience, and leadership to their inner resources of wisdom, resilience, and discipline, these individuals possess a unique constellation of qualities that enables them to create lasting impact in whatever spheres they touch. Reason 7. Profound loyalty. In a world where connections often seem disposable and commitments fluid, Capricornians embody a profound loyalty that transforms relationships into enduring foundations rather than temporary arrangements. This loyalty isn't merely sentimental attachment or habitual continuity, but a principled dedication to honoring bonds they've chosen to form. Once a Capricorn has welcomed someone into their inner circle, that person becomes part of a sacred trust that isn't easily broken or abandoned. What distinguishes Capricornian loyalty is its deliberate nature. Unlike signs that form instant connections and declare undying devotion in moments of emotional intensity, Capricorns move carefully in establishing meaningful ties. They observe, assess, and gradually extend trust as evidence of reliability accumulates. This measured approach means their loyalty isn't granted lightly, but once given, it possesses a steadfastness rarely found elsewhere. They don't love you today and forget you tomorrow. They don't champion you in good times, only to disappear when difficulties arise. Their commitment remains consistent through changing circumstances, creating a reliability that others come to depend upon. This loyalty manifests most visibly in how Capricorns respond during crises. When someone they care about faces trouble, whether personal struggle, professional setback, health challenge, or reputation damage, their presence becomes unwavering, while others might distance themselves to avoid complication or discomfort. Capricorns move closer, offering practical support alongside emotional solidarity. They understand intuitively that loyalty reveals its true value precisely when maintaining connection becomes costly or inconvenient. The depth of Capricornian loyalty extends beyond personal relationships into institutional and community commitments. They often demonstrate remarkable dedication to organizations, traditions, and places that have shaped their identity and provided meaningful structure. This creates a stabilizing influence that maintains continuity amid social fragmentation. In workplaces, families, religious communities, and civic groups, Capricorns frequently serve as living repositories of institutional memory and carriers of collective values, preserving what matters while allowing necessary evolution. Perhaps most remarkable about Capricorn loyalty is how it balances unwavering commitment with clear-eyed perception. Their loyalty doesn't require idealization or denial of flaws. They can see loved ones, institutions, and communities accurately, acknowledging limitations, mistakes, and complexities, while simultaneously maintaining devoted connection. This creates relationships characterized by both acceptance and accountability, where loyalty serves not as an excuse for stagnation, but as a secure foundation for authentic growth. Reason 8. Strategic thinking. The eighth quality that enables Capricornians to shine lies in their strategic thinking, an exceptional ability to perceive patterns, anticipate developments, and position themselves advantageously in life's complex dynamics. Unlike purely analytical or intuitive approaches to understanding situations, Capricorn's strategic thinking combines both modes, creating a comprehensive perspective that considers multiple dimensions simultaneously. At its core, Capricornian strategic thinking manifests as an unusual capacity to discern how present conditions will evolve over time. While others focus primarily on immediate circumstances, Capricorns naturally project current trajectories forward, envisioning potential futures with remarkable clarity. This temporal expansiveness allows them to prepare for opportunities and challenges before they fully materialize, positioning themselves 3 moves ahead in life's chess game, while others react to what's directly before them. What makes this strategic capacity particularly powerful is how it encompasses both large-scale systems and granular details. Capricorns can zoom out to perceive overarching patterns and structural dynamics, understanding how economic trends, social movements, technological developments, and cultural shifts create evolving contexts that shape possibilities. Simultaneously, they can zoom in to identify specific leverage points where targeted efforts might produce disproportionate results. This multifocal perspective allows them to develop strategies that address both immediate tactics and long-range objectives. Capricornian strategic thinking extends beyond the intellectual analysis into practical implementation. They don't merely conceptualize possibilities, but develop concrete plans for manifesting preferred outcomes, considering resources required, potential obstacles, alternative approaches, and measurable indicators of progress. This operationalization transforms abstract understanding into effective action, creating pathways that bridge current realities and desired futures. When others get lost in either theoretical possibilities or overwhelming details, Capricorns maintain orientation through this balanced approach. Perhaps most distinctive about Capricorn's strategic thinking is its patience and adaptability. Unlike rigid planning that breaks down when circumstances change, their approach resembles ecological adaptation more than mechanical execution. They establish clear destinations while remaining flexible about exact routes, adjusting tactics based on emerging information without abandoning core objectives. This creates a remarkable resilience that allows them to navigate complex situations that defeat more linear approaches to strategy. Reason 9. Quiet ambition. The ninth reason Capricornians shine so brilliantly lies in their quiet ambition, a powerful internal drive that manifests in consistent achievement rather than empty promises or attention-seeking displays. Unlike louder forms of ambition that announce intentions before results materialize, Capricorn ambition operates with a distinctive subtlety, revealed primarily through accomplished facts rather than declared aspirations. At its essence, Capricornian ambition focuses on substance rather than appearance. They aren't motivated primarily by external validation, public recognition, or competitive status, though they may appreciate these when they arrive as natural consequences of excellence. Instead, their drive emerges from deeper sources: the intrinsic satisfaction of mastery, the meaningful impact of contribution, the enduring legacy of creation. This orientation toward substantive achievement rather than symbolic success creates a sustainability that outlasts more flashy but shallow forms of ambition. What makes this quiet ambition particularly effective is how it translates into methodical action rather than remaining at the level of intention or desire. Capricorns don't merely dream of accomplishment, but systematically establish conditions that make achievement possible. They break ambitious visions into manageable components, develop necessary skills and resources, create supportive structures and routines, and consistently execute required actions regardless of fluctuating motivation or external recognition. This methodical approach transforms aspiration into tangible results through accumulated effort rather than sporadic inspiration. Capricornian ambition demonstrates remarkable patience regarding timing and trajectory. Unlike those who demand immediate advancement or visible progress at every stage, Capricorns understand that significant achievements often require periods of invisible foundation building, apparent plateaus that consolidate progress, and even strategic retreats that enable greater advances later. This temporal intelligence allows them to maintain momentum through phases that might discourage others. Recognizing these as necessary components of any meaningful developmental journey rather than signs of failure. Perhaps most admirable about Capricorn ambition is how it balances personal achievement with ethical consideration. Their drive doesn't manifest as ruthless advancement at others' expense, but as responsible stewardship that considers broader impacts and obligations. They understand intuitively that genuine success isn't measured solely by individual acquisition or advancement, but by contribution to collective well-being and development of shared resources. This creates ambition characterized by integrity rather than exploitation, leaving situations better rather than diminished. Together, these three relational qualities, profound loyalty, strategic thinking, and quiet ambition, reveal why Capricornians often become such powerful positive influences in their interpersonal spheres. They don't merely achieve personal success, but create environments where others can flourish, establish systems that distribute benefits widely, and model approaches to accomplishment that honor both individual excellence and collective well-being. Their relational genius lies not in superficial charisma or social manipulation, but in substantive contribution that transforms contexts over time. The distinctive Capricornian approach to relationship manifests across diverse domains: family bonds, friendships, romantic partnerships, professional collaborations, and community connections. In families, they often serve as dependable anchors, providing stability and continuity across generations. In friendships, they offer a rare combination of practical support and enduring presence that deepens with time. In romantic relationships, they build partnerships characterized by mutual growth and shared purpose rather than merely emotional intensity or convenience. In professional context, they develop collaborations based on competence and integrity rather than politics or superficial affinity. In communities, they contribute steadily to collective endeavors without requiring constant recognition, or immediate returns. As we've now explored 9 compelling reasons why Capricornians were born to shine, from their foundational determination, patience, and leadership, through their inner resources of wisdom, resilience, and discipline, to their relational capacities for loyalty, strategic thinking, and quiet ambition, we begin to perceive the extraordinary contribution these individuals make to our shared world. While their approach may sometimes appear serious or reserved compared to more immediately expressive signs, their impact proves profound and lasting, creating value that endures beyond momentary impression. Reason 10. Earthy authenticity. Beneath the sometimes reserved exterior of Capricornians lies a profound authenticity that grounds them in a world increasingly characterized by superficiality and performance. This earthy authenticity manifests not as deliberate countercultural positioning or self-conscious realness, but as a natural inability to sustain pretense or engage in empty posturing. There exists in the Capricorn spirit a fundamental orientation towards substance that renders artifice not merely unappealing, but almost incomprehensible. At its core, Capricornian authenticity emerges from a deep respect for reality itself. They recognize intuitively that genuine engagement with the world requires accurate perception rather than wishful thinking or convenient distortion. This commitment to seeing clearly extends to self-knowledge. Capricorns typically possess remarkable awareness of their own strengths, limitations, motivations, and patterns. Unlike those who maintain carefully curated public personas distinct from private realities, Capricorns demonstrate striking congruence between inner experience and outer expression, between stated values and lived priorities. What makes this authenticity particularly refreshing in contemporary contexts is how it counteracts pervasive pressures toward image management and personal branding. In professional environments where appearance often supersedes substance, in social spheres where carefully edited presentations replace genuine connection, in cultural landscapes saturated with filtered realities and aspirational illusions, Capricornian groundedness offers a powerful alternative. They embody the radical simplicity of being rather than seeming, of offering what is rather than what might impress. This authenticity manifests most visibly in how Capricorns communicate. Their words typically possess a distinctive clarity and directness, unburdened by excessive qualification or strategic ambiguity. They say what they mean and mean what they say, creating interactions characterized by transparency rather than manipulation. This directness doesn't imply tactlessness. Many Capricorns demonstrate remarkable diplomacy in delivering difficult truths, but rather a fundamental honesty that respects others enough to offer genuine response rather than convenient platitudes. Perhaps most valuable about Capricornian authenticity is how it creates space for others to abandon performance and embrace genuine presence. There's something profoundly liberating about encountering someone who neither performs nor requires performance, who accepts reality without demanding it conform to preference or expectation. In Capricorn's grounded presence, others often find permission to set down their own carefully maintained masks and experience the relief of being recognized and accepted as they actually are, rather than as they believe they should appear. Reason 11. Subtle humor. The 11th quality that enables Capricornians to shine reveals one of their most delightful hidden depths, a subtle yet powerful humor that emerges when least expected, providing perspective, relief, and connection in even the most challenging circumstances. Unlike more obvious comedic styles that announce themselves through exaggeration or performance, Capricorn humor often arrives quietly, catching listeners by surprise with its insight and timing. At its essence, Capricornian humor embodies a sophisticated wit that perceives the inherent absurdities and ironies woven through human experience. They possess remarkable ability to identify the gap between pretension and reality, between stated intention and actual outcome, between societal mythology and lived truth. This perception creates humor characterized by incisiveness rather than cruelty, by recognition rather than ridicule. humor that illuminates rather than diminishes our shared human condition. What makes this humor particularly effective is its precision and timing. Capricorns typically employ fewer words to greater effect, crafting observations with careful economy rather than overwhelming with volume or intensity. Their comments often arrive at perfect moments, when tension peaks, when perspective threatens to narrow, when self-importance begins to inflate beyond reasonable proportion. This exquisite timing transforms potentially heavy situations through the gentle intervention of perspective-restoring humor. Capricornian humor frequently demonstrates a distinctive dryness, a subtle delivery that amplifies impact through understatement rather than exaggeration. This approach requires active engagement from listeners, who must pay attention to catch the gentle twist of phrase, the slight shift in expression, the quiet observation that reframes an entire situation. The reward for this attention arrives as the delayed reaction laughter of recognition, the deepening smile of appreciation that follows truly insightful humor. Perhaps most valuable about Capricorn humor is how it serves as both coping mechanism and connection point. In difficult circumstances, whether personal challenges, professional pressures, or collective crises, their ability to perceive absurdity without denying gravity creates resilience without insensitivity. This balanced perspective allows processing of difficult realities without becoming overwhelmed by them. Simultaneously, their humor creates points of shared recognition that forge deeper connections, as those who laugh together acknowledge common perception and experience. Reason 12. Ageless quality. The final reason Capricornians were born to shine reveals perhaps their most fascinating attribute, an ageless quality that enables them to grow more influential and magnetic with time, often achieving their greatest successes later in life, when their accumulated wisdom and experience reach full bloom. Unlike signs that peak early through raw talent or initial charisma, Capricorns demonstrate a remarkable developmental trajectory that continues unfolding across decades, creating individuals who truly come into their own with maturity. At its foundation, this Capricornian agelessness emerges from their natural affinity with time itself. Where others often experience time primarily as a depleting force that diminishes capability and relevance, Capricorns intuitively understand time as an accumulative dimension that builds capacity when approached with intentionality. They don't merely pass through years, but actively harvest their experiences, extracting lessons, developing skills, and cultivating perspectives that transform raw potential into refined capability. What makes this quality particularly distinctive is how it integrates seemingly contradictory characteristics that typically separate with age. Capricorns often maintain youthful curiosity and adaptability alongside mature wisdom and discernment, innovative thinking alongside deep respect for tradition, energetic engagement alongside patient perspective. This integration creates individuals who remain relevant across changing contexts, precisely because they neither cling rigidly to past approaches nor abandon accumulated knowledge in pursuit of novelty. The Capricornian developmental arc frequently demonstrates a fascinating reversal of common patterns, where many individuals demonstrate greatest spontaneity, creativity, and openness in youth, becoming increasingly rigid and fixed with age. Capricorns often follow the opposite trajectory. Their early years may appear serious, constrained, or conventional as they establish foundations and master fundamentals. With maturity comes increasing flexibility, creativity, and authentic self-expression, as if the security of established competence liberates more playful and expansive dimensions of their nature. Perhaps most inspiring about Capricorn's ageless quality is how it reframes our cultural understanding of the life course itself. In societies that often worship youth while devaluing maturity, that chase novelty while discarding accumulated wisdom, that prioritize disruption over sustainable development, Capricornians embody a powerful alternative vision. They demonstrate that human flowering need not be confined to early decades, but can continue unfolding throughout the lifespan, creating individuals whose greatest contributions emerge precisely when most others have plateaued or declined. This ageless quality becomes increasingly apparent in Capricorn's later decades, when the integration of their many strengths reaches full expression. The determination that sometimes appeared as rigid persistence in youth transforms into unstoppable momentum, guided by mature discernment. The patience that may have seemed like excessive caution becomes visionary perspective that perceives longer arcs of development. The leadership that began as competent management evolves into profound stewardship that cultivates legacy beyond personal achievement. Together, these final three qualities, earthy authenticity, subtle humor, and ageless development, reveal the hidden depths that make Capricornians such fascinating and valuable presences in our world. Beyond their visible accomplishments and practical contributions lies this rich interior complexity that continues unfolding throughout their lives, creating individuals who don't merely achieve according to conventional metrics, but who embody alternative possibilities for human development and expression. As we conclude our exploration of the 12 compelling reasons why Capricornians were born to shine, we recognize the extraordinary integration of capabilities that characterizes these remarkable individuals. From their foundational determination, patience, and leadership, through their inner resources of wisdom, resilience, and discipline, to their relational capacities for loyalty, strategic thinking, and quiet ambition, and finally, to their hidden depths of authenticity, humor, and ageless development, Capricorns offer a comprehensive vision of human potential realized through sustained, intentional engagement with life's challenges and opportunities. Whether you're a Capricorn recognizing your own innate gifts or someone fortunate enough to have Capricornians in your life, this exploration illuminates the distinctive contribution these individuals make to our shared world, not through flashy performance or temporary impact, but through enduring presence that transforms contexts and creates foundations upon which others can build. In a world often characterized by impermanence and superficiality, Capricorns remind us of the extraordinary value created through commitment, integrity, and patient development over time. Throughout our cosmic exploration of Capricorn energy, we've unveiled 12 profound reasons why those born under this powerful earth sign were truly born to shine. We began with their foundational qualities, that unwavering determination that transforms obstacles into stepping stones, their masterful patience that builds empires while others chase shortcuts, and their natural leadership that commands respect through substance rather than spectacle. These core attributes establish Capricornians as forces of extraordinary stability and achievement in an increasingly chaotic world. We then journey deeper, examining their inner strengths, practical wisdom that cuts through complexity with refreshing clarity, remarkable resilience that strengthens through life's harshest winters, and disciplined self-improvement that creates continuous evolution throughout their lives. These internal resources explain why Capricorns not only achieve but endure, maintaining effectiveness and purpose long after others have exhausted their reserves or lost direction. Our exploration continued into their relational genius, revealing how their profound loyalty forms the bedrock of meaningful connections. Their strategic thinking positions them advantageously in life's complex dynamics, and their quiet ambition manifests in consistent achievement rather than empty promises. These qualities transform Capricornians from mere individual successes into powerful positive influences who elevate entire communities and organizations through their presence. Finally, we uncovered their hidden depths, an earthy authenticity that grounds them in a world of increasing superficiality, subtle yet powerful humor that provides perspective in challenging moments, and that fascinating ageless quality that enables them to grow more magnetic and influential with time. These less obvious characteristics explain why Capricorns often become more rather than less relevant as decades pass, offering accumulated wisdom that provides essential ballast in rapidly changing times. This comprehensive constellation of qualities reveals why Capricornians make such extraordinary contributions to our world. not through flashy performance or temporary impact, but through substantive presence that transforms contexts over time. They remind us that genuine achievement isn't measured by immediate recognition, but by lasting value, that meaningful success requires both vision and implementation, that true leadership emerges from integrity rather than authority. If you found illumination in this exploration of Capricorn energy, whether recognizing your own innate gifts or gaining deeper appreciation for the Capricornians in your life, I invite you to continue this cosmic journey with us at Secret of the Zodiac. Subscribe now to ensure you never miss our upcoming revelations about each sign's hidden powers and potentials. Our community of stargazers and truth seekers grows stronger with each new member who joins our constellation. After subscribing, take a moment to explore our complete zodiac collection, where we've decoded the secret strengths of every sign from ambitious Aries to intuitive Pisces. Each video offers fresh insights that go far beyond typical horoscope generalizations, revealing the profound cosmic intelligence encoded in your astrological blueprint. Your engagement fuels our mission to illuminate these celestial truths. Leave a comment sharing which Capricorn quality resonates most strongly with your experience. Whether you're a mountain goat yourself or someone who loves a Capricorn, does their determination inspire you? Their patience challenge you? Their leadership guide you? Your perspective adds invaluable dimension to our collective understanding. If you found value in today's exploration, consider activating the Super Thanks feature, that special button below this video that allows you to make a financial contribution supporting our work. Your generosity directly enables us to create daily zodiac content of increasing depth and quality, covering production costs while expanding our research capabilities. Every contribution, regardless of size, represents cosmic energy exchanged in support of greater collective wisdom. The stars have guided humanity for millennia, offering wisdom through their eternal patterns. At Secret of the Zodiac, we're dedicated to translating these cosmic messages into practical insights that illuminate your path. Together, we're rediscovering ancient truths while creating a community united by curiosity about our celestial connections. Thank you for being part of this journey through the stars. We'll see you in our next cosmic exploration.